What's good, Josh? Your boy Jared. I'm gonna start saying my name rather than FX Jared A. It's a little long. I do prefer that name because 21 Trader, I don't know, it's just meh. Today is Saturday. I'm gonna be going over for how the week went. This week was quite break even compared to the other weeks. I am going to go over the first week, week 1, week 2, and week 3. We're going into week 4, and I'm going to tell you how I'm feeling, the stand third, and mindset I'm going behind it. So the last video was dated in May of this year, so my plan is the same. It's overall the same, but it's day trade. I am 100%. I'm pretty sure I am a day trader now, because day swinging is still a thing for me, because obviously the way I trade, I can do both, but scalping is just a no-go for me. I'm gonna be so honest. But for my pairs that I do trade, I trade Euro AUD, Great British Pound US Dollar, CAD JPY. I chose those pairs because they don't really correlate like pretty much at all. They're in their own lanes and they just do what they are supposed to do, and they are pretty much the cleanest I've been seeing so far. That's just my opinion. That's what I've been choosing. And for day trading, it does do pretty much what I am anticipating for it to do most of the time. Sometimes it does the complete opposite of what I anticipate, but that's barely. But I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. This week was kind of bad. I'm explaining in a bit, but we're gonna go to the first week. So week 1, to catch everything up, was Euro AUD. It was profit. This is a 50K account, phase 1 only account, so this costed $2.99, and the platform I am using is Rocket 21. Just a simple fact, it's just like they offer stage 1. They have pretty much discounts all the time, so I decided to use with them. There's no specific reason why I'm with them. The only thing I will say about them I don't like this much is with the phase 1 accounts only, they pretty much have high commission costs, which kills me, bro. But the spreads is okay, it's pretty decent. So as long as it's a winner trade, who cares about commission, right? But Euro AUD, it was profit. It was about $200. It was a simple sell at resistance. I was looking to sell at area of interest, at support. It was pure price action. I had a candlestick confirmation on the hour. Price broke above the previous candles. I was probably going to close early, but I lowered the risk to 250. But I pretty much broke even. But news was kind of spooked me a bit with the bullshit it was displaying, so I closed early. I did say I was going to break even today or a massive profit, and I chose break even. Price could have pushed it downwards. I hate news. Later in life, I will trade with news, but right now, I'll pass on it or break even. Meaning, I'm not going to go about all of these. The text details. Text details is just what happened during the trade. Obviously, entry, exit point, sell, date, amount, profit. You know, you see, you got the gist. But next trade was UJ. It was break even. Euro AUD was 300. Great British Pound was 600. This was 200, and this is 800. This is week 2. This is the second. Wait, no, hold on. This is the same day. Yeah, this is week 2. All right, so that was week 1. This was week 1. So week 1, we did make our goal of $1,000 per week, because you need 4,500 to pass. So therefore, I'm giving myself $1,000 per week. Pretty easy on the head when you think about it, because especially I'm risking 300 to 400, and if I just do a 1 to 2 or 1 to 3, I'm already making $600 to $800 to $1,000 or whatever the case is. So making $1,000 a week is so easy on the mental side. So that's the way I do it. Week 2, profit, small loss. That was Monday. This is Tuesday. This was Wednesday. It was a small loss Wednesday, very small loss Wednesday, but we end up bouncing back with pretty much a very small lot size and a pretty decent lot size, making it $450, but $310 for that day, and that day was Wednesday. Thursday was a small W. It's a lot of small W's, as you can tell. Around $200. So this was right here. We're switching on to MT5 on the desktop. As you can see, this is the same, leaving off. $200 loss on the next day. It was a bad day. It was a bad Monday. It was a bad Monday for me. I did end up taking a few positions, chasing a trade. Well, I would say one thing: chasing a trade is one of my weaknesses. I do need to work on that. But as you can see, this is just a very small lot sizes, and then you have basically the main trades of these two, and then you have those two, which is just like 2 out of 3 of them end up playing out much later. It just been stalling, and the way I like to say it, like price stalls a lot, and when price stalls, it just does nothing. That's basically consolidation. Moving on from Monday of the third week, you have $500 W for Tuesday. This was break even on Wednesday, I believe. Yeah, this is break even on Wednesday. I broke even on Wednesday. Thursday, I didn't really see too much of a good trading opportunities Wednesday, so therefore I traded Wednesday. Just left it there. Thursday was the 1K day. It was pretty average trade. It was a 3 lot, so it was about 40 pips. And for Friday, it was a $900 loss. I'll get to that in a minute, but I'm not really happy with week 3. Week 3 could have been way better. I didn't make anything week 3. I actually just went right back to week 2, as you can see, just based off profit, as you can see, but commission is not fun at all. So I need to chill out with all these bullshit positions, and these 2 of these positions end up playing out. One of them didn't. So it is what it is. It's the game we play. It's called forex, and you can't really do anything about that. So alright, so on the charts, so I'm not gonna go over everything. I'm just gonna go over a baseline. Well, basically what happened Friday was, I kind of figured that this was going to happen because Friday we just gave off mixed emotions. I wanted it to be bullish, but it was giving bearish vibes. It's just chilling here, and I'm anticipating price to come back to this area to fulfill all of this and possibly then shoot down like mentally, like really bad. Like I'm anticipating price to really melt down once the price gets to here. But at the moment, you see that this is a very respected area of interest, and this is the 4 hour. Remember that. So you got the 4 hour EMA right there, chilling right there. If you just get that out the way, just to get rid of the noise, just put down some temporary stuff. I put down a lot of temporary stuff just to see what's going on, and before that bearish engulfing right there, I'm like, this trend line and the support line is very much so working together to hold it up. So I just want to figure out what's going on and what's real and what's fake. So when price melted like that, I was anticipating price to continue on the downside, but I wanted price to break below this area before anything. So at that time, I got rid of the trend line because I'm like, okay, it just has to break here and then I'm going to sell. Price was looking pretty good. It was breaking EMAs. It was doing its thing. I'm like, how do you even get in on this anyway? So that's why I said wait for support to be broken. And then price turned right back around. And yeah, it did gave a false signal before it turned right around. This was news. In fact, this candle was news. So that was the spike. And then price just kept on doing some random stuff, giving 100% false signals. And you would have literally not been able to get in on this trade, especially if you was on a smaller time frame. You would have definitely got faked out. But the 1 hour was definitely the savior in this situation, because once price really broke out of this temporary areas, broke out of this basically a this resistance area. If you're looking even back, it's an area of interest as well. Hit the ceiling, and now we're here. So we're either going to end up seeing a continuation up there, especially on the bullish engulfing of the 1 hour, or you want to see a pullback down here for a continuation on upside. I am anticipating price to continue on the upside, as you can tell, just due to the fact that it just has so much to fulfill right here. Then once price gets to this point, I am definitely anticipating price to melt down or continue to go on the upside, because that just makes the most sense. So that's just how I anticipate that to go. Euro AUD, this was the trade I was looking at on Euro AUD. Very simple sell. Very simple sell. Let me just show you the rundown. This is basically what I was working with. Price basically broke this area, continued to go, look for a pullback, and now price has possibly pulled back for a massive 4 hour bearish engulfing. Because of this massive bearish engulfing, I decided to actually look for a continuation sell to possibly area of interest 1 or area interest of 2. To my experience, to my trading strategy, I typically see price come down to this area and actually get there with, you know, timely fashion. So I was looking for a sell down to there, possibly here, but definitely around this area, into this area. So to zoom in, to go in, basically, as you can tell, I had 3 sells on this trade. Unfortunately, I got caught up with a few of them. The first area of interest I had got caught up with, let's just go back just a little bit just to show you what I was working with. So the first area I got caught up in was this area. Only reason I got caught up in that area due to the fact that price has definitely reacted to this area, and I was definitely looking for a continuation of the downside. Price already tapped the 30 EMA the first time. I'll go back even more if you want to even see what I was looking at. Price reacted to this 30 EMA. Price reacted to previous support area. It's not really a area, but it's definitely a lower low. This is definitely a lower low, as you can see. Higher, lower low, lower high, lower low, potential lower high at previous lower low. And I seen the reaction. I really did like it, so I got a sell position into this around here, and stop loss like around here. It was a pretty decent trade. Depending on how much money this is going to be, I was definitely just going to take profit, because this is already a 1 to 3 in this area, and this is definitely a 1 to 10 area, 1 to 10, 1 to 15 with the area I wanted. This is, yeah, 1 to 10, 1 to 11. So I seen this, pretty simple. Prices came up. I basically closed the position because I seen that prices definitely just kept coming up and coming up and coming up. So that at this point, it was just like price is definitely probably just going to keep going. If it's a wick, it's a wick, and it's unfortunate. But most of the time, when I pull out early, it's pretty right. It's just the simple fact psychologically you don't accept that until it's over, and then when the move continues to go on your way, it's gonna just, you're gonna blame yourself. But that is a habit I do want to stop doing, is closing trades early. Even if I am wrong, just let me be wrong and let it hit stop loss. So that was the first L, unfortunately. This point, when price started to sell off, I was like, okay, that this is the trade. Boom. No. So I closed that early as well, which, like I said, it's a good and it's a gift and a curse to know that price could potentially go upwards, but knowing the market and the condition it could be in, it does not matter what you know. It could go up 1 minute, it could go down another minute. As you can see, even my third area of interest that I was looking at was the hour, and I'm like, it makes sense because now it's 9 o'clock, price could continue on the downside, and now the 4 hour is closing. This only makes sense to pull back. It only makes sense to pull back, and now the 4 hour would just completely engulf all of this and potentially close here Friday, and or a little bit lower than that. So now my last trade was here, and I actually gave it a larger stop loss, but I lowered my lot size for obvious reasons, so the risk would be still the same as the previous trades. That's why the losses aren't like progressively bigger, they're the same, so they're not bigger. So I gave myself a bigger stop loss, and then TP was actually down here. I was going to place the trade and just completely forget about it. So once price got to that point, I'm like, okay. I was like, this don't even make no fucking sense. So the first few minutes, it was like, okay, cool, we might see some momentum on the downside, and then price rocketed upwards, and it pissed me off so much. And then that was news, and then it just kept on playing around, and now price is there now. Is this trade still valid? I don't think so, just due to the fact that it had multiple chances to continue on the downside, and it didn't. But as you can see on the 4 hour, it can do anything, especially if you were just remove that area for one, and keep this area, because it is an area of interest that price reacted to many times. Even in the past, as you can see, if you could look left just a little bit in that specific, you know, vicinity, price could also push here. But if price pushes above here, then it's 100% bullish, as you can tell, because there's no other place. If you're going to continue to play around here, you're only going to do this. because of London. London has been loading all of my pairs, but they're obviously London pairs more than New York. So I might be switching to London depending on how week 4 goes. Just a simple fact, I do like waking up, trading, and then going about my day. Late night decisions, I end up taking the trades and then going to bed after. I rather manage the trade. So waiting for 3 o'clock would either be me going to sleep and waking back up, or staying up the whole time and then going to bed and waking up at like fucking 1 p.m. So I'll see y'all in the next video. Damn.